And it's the second wave millennials that you have to pay attention to. They're the young people coming into the workplace today. And what hiring managers tell us about the second wave millennials in professional services firms, right? They're the ones who are most likely to have been cultivated aggressively by parents, teachers, and counselors, right? They've been provided with individual learning plans and support and guidance and structure, and, you know, and their parents have been trying to create a new species of superhuman. Right? And that's why they all seem like they have superpowers, right? But they have blind spots. That's why they seem like they're from another planet. And so, you know, what hiring managers tell us about young people who can walk through your door on day one is there's two kinds who can walk through your door on day one. The first kind walk through your door like this. Like, they seem lower maintenance, and then they show up, they keep their head down, they keep their mouth shut, they don't make suggestions, they don't make demands, they don't make requests. They're trying to stay below the radar. The problem is if you hired that person, you hired the wrong person. They're what we call way station employees. Among the second wave millennials, if you hire someone who wants to stay below the radar, you hired someone who's not really sure what he or she wants to do. This is the best they can do right now. They're going to soak up your resources while they figure out what they really want to do. And then they are in danger of selling your development investment to the highest bidder. They are the prime offenders in the development investment paradox. The irony is, if you hire the right ones among this generation, if you hire the best young people, they're going to show up like this. I'm here! And then you say, oh, right, we forgot you were starting today. And they say, but it's me. It's me. Don't you remember me from the interview? You've got to remember. How could you not remember me? Remember the second interview I brought my mom? Right? And so, oh yeah, now it's coming back to me. Now it's coming back to me. Why don't you sit over here and go over these documents from HR while I figure out where you're going to sit? And they're like, but I've been to your website. There's 17 things we need to change about this place immediately. I'd like to volunteer to head up a task force to make some of these changes. And you want to say, well, gee, no hard feelings, but for me, this is just Monday. Because I've been here for 30 years. Right? Cut. And so sometimes people say to me, well, do they really have higher expectations than those of previous generations? And our research shows that they do. They don't have greater needs and wants. Yes, their parents have been trying to create a new species of superhuman, but they are still human. And they have the same basic needs and wants, see Maslow. But they do have higher expectations. The good news is that first and foremost, they have higher expectations for themselves. They want to identify problems nobody else has identified. They want to solve problems nobody else has solved. They want to invent new things. They want to make existing things smarter, faster, and better. And that's great for business. What a lot of people say is, yeah, but I've been here for 30 years, so that's my job. The reason we hire new young people is because we have a bunch of grunt work we need to get done, and we were hoping they might help. And I think one of the myths about this generation is that they won't do the grunt work. I have interviewed thousands and thousands and thousands of them. They're like, grunt work? I'll do the grunt work. I'll work circles around those older, more experienced people. I'll do the grunt work until they drop from exhaustion. Let's go. Right? They will do the grunt work, but there are two catches. They won't do the grunt work or anything else in exchange for vague promises about long-term rewards that may or may not vest in the deep, distant future. No way. And what young people tell us every day is, oh yeah, I got there, and they said, oh, here's where you could be in 5 years, here's where you could be in 10 years. They're like, I don't even know what they're talking about. You know, no hard feelings, but where am I going to be tomorrow, next week, next month? One young person we interviewed said, I know they think they're the masters of the universe, but gee, the Soviet Union disappeared overnight, Arthur Anderson, fill in the blank. One young person we interviewed said, my boss keeps telling me, stick with me, and here's where you'll be in 5 years. She said, I'm dying to turn around and say to that guy, I hate to tell you, pal, but you don't know where you're going to be in 5 years. And what I love about that is, you know, they're onto something. Right? They want to know, so if you want one thing to take away, it's they think short-term and transactional. That doesn't mean they can't be long-term employees, but you got to plug into their short-term transactional mindset. Today, tomorrow, this week, this month, this year, next year. That's how you get them to the long term. One short-term transaction after another. You don't want to work on Thursday? Here's what I need from you by Wednesday at midnight. Let's take it one Thursday at a time.